What is up, everybody? It is me, Duke Farley, back at it again here on Lost at Sea, and I am joined once again by my number one alliance mate in this series of the game, Mr. Payton Dow. How are you? I see you repping the merch in
Hey,
the alliance. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. It's always so fun.
Always so fun to catch up and talk a little Ascendance. We did do a draft. You guys can look at that in one of the previous episodes. Currently, I'm down 2 members. Peyton, you only have lost one person, Ryan. So how are you feeling about your draft team? Have you been like keeping up with your squad?
Of course, of course. If I have a squad, I always keep up with it. I knew that I was going to beat you, and I'm in the lead. So, but no, I'm just kidding. I love my team. They're doing great. So this season's pretty good. So anything can happen at this point.
Anything can happen, and it's just a draft based off of pure placement. So I guess technically, really anything could happen. Only 3 people have been eliminated so far. But Peyton, what have you thought of the season up to this point? Who's standing out for good reasons or bad reasons?
I think right now the person standing out the most is Melissa, to be honest with you. Her name is in everyone's mouth, and she does not give a shit about it. It's so funny. I just think that if everyone's talking about you, you have a lot of currency in the game, whether it's bad or good. And I tend to root for those people. So regardless of if you like her or not, she's getting some airtime, and that's good. Like I think that she has a lot of pull with the house, whether or not it's good or bad. So I mean, she's gonna get some screen time for that. So good for her.
Absolutely. Melissa, her name was out there right in the beginning. And people were even talking about trying to go for her in the last round where she was safe. But that's a great like pivot into this next episode here, where Melissa kind of takes the forefront of, basically the entire episode. So let's kind of dive into this last episode. All competitions, no one eliminated. So the first one was Tetris. I know you guys had that same competition in your season. Don't remember. I think, did you win that one or did somebody else
Oh
win that?
man, I was this close. I almost won. Edmund beat me though.
So what did you think of this? Is an interesting competition because you win and then you pick who goes next. So if there's a little bit of strategy behind that. And some of the confessionals talked about why people were picking why some people weren't getting picked, like Carson. Carson was somebody that wasn't picked to the very end. Keaton wasn't picked, I think, until the last round. So what did you think of the competition overall?
I'm hoping to see some confessionals later about these people didn't get picked till the end. Like you have to be paying attention to those things. Like those were the stuff me and Edmund were paying attention to, and we took that into full consideration going into the second night. And that was a lot of talk about stuff that's not necessarily in the game, but it's like you have to see how people feel about each other, like picking someone or who you're going and talking to or who you're having fun with. All of that factors into the game. So I'm hoping people like clock that. But it was a good competition. It's a super hard competition. It comes at a time when you're like super emotionally drained already from the game. So you see the picture and then you run away from it and then you forget it in a split second. So it's hard. So, but it was a good comp.
Yeah, and it seemed like they were doing it right at the end of like a full day of filming. So they kind of like threw that on them. They threw that on them, and then right after this, obviously Melissa wins, and she gets, not much of a reaction from anybody. So that was kind of tough.
If you're targeting someone, like you can't. I don't understand why everyone's making it that obvious. So hopefully she can snake her way into the end because I don't know if they're just not airing stuff or what's going on, but I don't know why everyone's hating her so much. But good for her. I was like cheering for her, and then she won, and I was like, oh yes, girl, like bring the drama. And then she started talking about how she picked the teams and she didn't like it or something. And I was like, oh, why you don't like, if you're gonna be the villain, be the villain. Like, just be like, yeah, fuck all y'all. I don't care about you. No one cheered for me, but no one cheered for her. No one clapped.
Yeah, you could hear the air get sucked out of the room as soon as she won, which, great for TV purposes, but like,
yeah.
Yikes for Melissa there. But she has this power also, to the ability to switch teams, which she got during the captain portion of the storytelling from last time. So maybe she can use that to her advantage whenever she gets in a bind in teams. But she saved this round. So another upside is that she gets to get away from 2 eliminations. So they spring a double on these guys right at the end of this day. A lot to take in there, huh? So you guys didn't have your first double until the first
it was the
first jury round.
Yeah, the first jury member. Yeah.
So what do you think about 3 eliminations in? Now we're going into a double elimination.
It's wild. If both of these people aren't going to be in jury, like it can get so messy, and it should get so messy. This is the time when you need to get out 2 people you don't want in jury, like, and do whatever it takes, because they're not gonna. It's not gonna matter at the end of the day. Like, they're not voting. So I would go balls to the walls, especially if I was like Melissa, Drew, or whoever else won. I don't remember who else won, but whoever, the people that are safe right now should absolutely go balls to the walls and get someone big.
So you think this is the round to take a big shot?
Oh, for sure. Especially if you have safety and you can still vote. Like, that's a time when you can get some power in your hands. So we'll see how it goes.
So Melissa picks the teams, and like you mentioned, she kind of regretted some of the choices, I think, going through it. It seemed like she had trouble with people's names at one point. So it'll be interesting to see like where she feels like she goes wrong, and if we get that in a confessional or if that doesn't happen until an exit interview. But yeah, I'm looking at these teams now, and we get this next competition, which is kind of another endurance competition. So these people have really been going through the physical competitions this season, huh?
Yeah, horrible. We did that too. It was the 2 comps and our double season 1 were the same 2 like on this last episode. So, but like I said, it came out of like a super, super specific time for us because it was jury. So I don't know. It's going to be exciting to see, but yeah, I hated just sitting by the fucking pool and doing it, let alone they had to like run around. No, thank you.
Yeah, it looks like they added a little bit more of a endurance aspect to it this season. And needless to say, I thought Marvin going into this was going to be a front runner to win it, and he ends up taking the dub for the Green Squad. Any surprises there with Marvin winning?
No, not at all. That's on their side. That's who I thought. And he's playing a really good game, so props to him. I think that he's intertwined pretty good socially, and he's his confessionals show that he's ready to cut anyone whenever he needs to. But I wasn't shocked about him winning. I was pretty sure that's probably what was going to happen.
It seemed like it was close between him and Jake, but he ends up pulling out the dub. What did you think of the last episode where Marvin kind of sees a public power and just snags it right in front of Jodie and Kennedy?
I mean, iconic behavior. Like, if you're gonna do something, like, just do it with confidence. Like, who can't, like, what do you expect me to do? Like, not take it? Like, congrats to him. So I think that he's playing and he doesn't give a shit who sees. Like, he's gonna make his moves and he's gonna play the way he wants, and that's exactly what I did, and it worked out for me. So.
And it seems to be working for him, because I feel like I haven't heard anybody talk about going after Marvin anytime soon at all.
Yeah.
And so another fun thing that happened in this episode was the other team. It seemed like Erica once she kind of caught wind that she was not going to win the competition, she decided to start helping Drew. And I think people saw that. So what do you think of that move?
I'm just, if you're working with someone that closely, good for you. But round 3 or 4, what are you doing? I was like such an Erica stan, and then I was like, are you serious? You're gonna take the risk of someone seeing you actively trying to help someone win a double elimination safety? Like, this is like the most important safety of the whole game so far, and you're gonna like take that chance. But 2 or 3 other people were also being like, oh, I want Drew to win. I want to help Drew. So, I mean, that's a testament to Drew's game. Like, everyone was fine with him winning. Everyone was fine with him, I guess, helping him fill up his own water. But I don't know. Never in my life. I don't care if I'm 100% sure they're going to win. I ain't giving you no water. No, I don't care who it is. I don't care if my mom is sitting there trying to fill up a cup. I ain't giving you no water. No water for you. Especially on round 3 or 4. No, thank you. No.
So yeah, I mean, Drew, a lot of people helping him out. Drew also has this pendant of power now. He has another power as well that escapes my mind. I'm not exactly sure what it is.
It's join a vote or something.
Right. Yep, join a vote. So Drew he's got some tricks up his sleeve so far, huh?
I think he right now is in the best place to win the game. I think that he's in the best social position. Just bless his heart, his confessionals. I just he's one of my best friends. And I just like I text him during every episode and I'm like, sis, what are your confessionals? It looks like you're reading from a book.
Right?
Like, yeah. Should just like loosen up a little bit. He's like, I know, so cringy. But he's so funny. And I hope people see a different side of him when he's strategizing rather than in his confessionals, because I think that he's in a great space to win. Erica, I thought was, but I'm hoping she can like do something else, because I don't know why you wouldn't let people see you pouring water into your like ride or dice cup. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's interesting. Do you think people will hold that against her in this vote coming up, or do you think that maybe they'll save that
specific vote? But if it were me, I would like, and I was even remotely not working with Erica, I would like hold that against her throat. I would just be like, oh, like y'all see that like they're obviously working together. Drew's really good socially. Like, I would use that against her for sure. As a viewer, I hope not, because I like her. But if I was a player, she would not be making it past the next 2 or 3 rounds. That's for sure.
So this episode leaves us with a cliffhanger, no elimination. So probably tomorrow night we will have 2 new people of presumably the pre-jury. It's a little early, I think, for jury yet. So I wanted to make some predictions on who we think might be eliminated next. I know from this team with Drew on it, people were murmuring about Thomas at the end of the episode. But I don't see Thomas leaving right now.
I don't either. I see his trajectory being so much longer. Like, I don't see it right now. I see him maybe copping a vote or 2, but I don't see everyone getting on board for it unless there's a power play or something.
So I want to look at this team. So we have Drew, Erica, Jolie, Keaton, Thomas, Taisha, and Zoe. I've been calling her Zoe, but her name is Zoe. So apologize, Zoe, for that. And Melissa's going to be joining this vote as well, I'm assuming, as the captain for both votes. So Drew's safe, Melissa's safe. There's only 6 people, and this is tough. This is probably the smallest vote so far, because it's all been these joint eliminations with like 12, 13 people. So I think this will be more interesting to see strategically, right? Because there's going to be less people to have to like figure out what everybody's doing. Mm-hmm. But my mind is leaning towards Jolie or Keaton leaving in this group.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think Jolie maybe is fine, but I think Keaton probably will go. I don't know anything about, like, I don't we don't get much insight for him, like from him. He has quite a few confessionals, but I feel like we still don't know anything about him.
It's so erratic what he says every time. I don't know what he's doing.
Very just like woo, like all over the place. It's fun to watch. Like it's pretty good,
absolutely.
But it's not giving me any type of like hope for him. Like I can't root for him because I don't know where he stands. And I feel like if we feel that as a viewer, we obviously get less insight than they have playing. So if we feel that way, they have to feel the same way or worse. So he probably will be in trouble soon, I would assume.
And the only other reason why I say Lee is because Lee's name's been out there a couple times now, so it might be easy and a smaller group to kind of just hop on what's already been out there, but you never know.
I think Lee's a player that once they hear their name, I feel like they'll change the way they play and like figure something else out. So I'm hoping they will pull something. I love them, so I'm fingers crossed. I hope they can pull through for the next few rounds.
And if it is along the lines of, a big move, going into this, Lee, I think, is a good resume builder for somebody to take out at this point. But with that being said, there's going to be another vote. I don't really know the order. I don't know who won. Marvin won first, so I guess maybe that would mean his team goes next. And so Marvin is safe, but we have Carson, Hot Girl Chris, Kennedy, Jake, Paul, and Wesley. Do you have any vibes on where that could go?
I don't know. That could go. I'm feeling Paul or Wes. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know much about Wes either from his confessional. I don't know where he stands really. I am liking Paul a lot more. I think that the way he comes across is very genuine and very, he knows where he stands. He knows what he's doing. I feel like he's grounded in his thoughts and beliefs and what he wants to do with his game. So hopefully he stays. If I had to pick someone to go, it would be Wes. I'm not really vibing with him as a game player. So we'll see. I don't know. If I had to pick someone to America eliminate, it would be Wes.
Yeah, and I think those are good not good choices. Like, I think those are smart choices that based on what we've seen so far. I think there's some sort of it seems like there's a rivalry here between Jake and Wesley from the beginning of the game. They haven't been on the same page, and they've been kind of like saying like one another are threatening to one another. So I could see it coming down to like a Jake versus Wesley kind of vote here. And I'm also interested to see if Kennedy.
So hopefully they do.
Say that one more time.
If people are smart, they'll recognize that and pin them against each other, so they're safe.
Yeah, because at the end of this, Wesley kind of says, Jake was really close to winning this. He's a physical threat. I might use that against him. And Jake's also won a couple of comps now, so maybe he's got a target on his back of some sort. But I wanted to ask you, do you think Kennedy's safe in this position here? Because Kennedy's a person she's been mentioning, not feeling comfortable after the last vote, and she's been out there a lot with the votes and winning a lot.
She is, I feel like, she's on a team with Drew right now, right?
She's on the team with Carson, Hot Girl Chris, Jake, Marvin, Paul, and Wesley.
So Drew's not there.
Drew's not there, no.
So I feel like maybe Kennedy's fine. I feel like if Drew and her were together, it may be an issue. I feel like there's some type of tension, not tension, but I feel like they have a lot of chemistry as game players together. I can, for some reason, feel that when they have conversations. So I feel like Kennedy can take it.
It seems like these two, they want to be in control.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And if they're together in a double elimination on the same team, I feel like that would be very apparent, and Drew is safe. So I feel like it would probably fall on her. But right now, I think the smartest thing for her to do in this situation is take the back seat and let the Jake and Wesley thing take over the whole round, so she can just sit back and not do anything.
Yeah, and I'll be interested to see how Melissa plays into both of these votes as well, because it's obvious Melissa and Kennedy were going after each other in this competition for captain. So it'll be interesting now that Melissa has safety if she kind of goes, plays a little bit more offense rather than defense here.
She needs to, obviously, she had a confessional and realized that, oh, wow, no one was rooting for me. I needed to win that, blah, blah, blah. She needs to realize that she needs to play this round and maybe damage control or fix whatever she was doing because she obviously can't go home. So she needs to take this opportunity to like make some bonds with people to keep her safe for next round. If she just sits there and is like, I don't care, like I'll do whatever, well, like if she just kind of takes the back seat, I think she'll still be in the same position next round. So she needs to play a little bit harder this time.
I was saying, do you have any predictions for when jury is going to begin? I know you guys had 7 jurors in your season, but you guys only had 16 contestants, whereas this one has 18.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe after this double, maybe it'll start. I'm not sure. Or maybe I think it'll be this round, the double, and then one more round of pre-jury, and then a jury. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And yeah, other than that, Payton, how have you been enjoying everything as a whole, just as like a production? I know playing it is much different than watching it from the sidelines. Are you like, do you have an appreciation for it now? Like,
it's great. Like it's we all came into season 1 knowing we were the guinea pigs and like being open to change and like helping them grow and helping them just get a basis foundation of like what Ascendance wanted to be and what it was supposed to be and what it's growing into. So we all had this mutual understanding of like, we're all here to learn and like support the cause. Like we're all Ascendance fans. So it's so amazing to see where it was grown to and what it moved to and like what Nicole and Matthew, where they're taking it now, really. I love the comps my season. They were all elevated this season. So it's cool to see the changes that are subtle that they made. And the non-so subtle changes they made. That's all cool to see. I love the way they're doing powers. I love that they're showing where they are. Like we saw that there was a half pin of power this episode in the plant, which no one found yet, but we kind of saw that sneaky camera thing.
Plant power.
The small decisions they're doing. So.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to watch this this thing grow, and but yeah, shit. Well, that's basically everything that's happened in this past episode, Payton's thoughts. So with that being said, I guess I'm going to close it out here. Payton, thanks again for coming on, and we'll have to do this again sometime in the future, man.
Absolutely. Mwah.